Good morning, everybody. That was a tour de force I'm just following there from Eloise. So congratulations on that. That was a brilliant appreciation, I think, really, of what this could be all about. So great job. So High Value Manufacturing Catapult. I'm obviously going to be ditching the British norm here. Why do we worry about manufacturing? It's 10% of our economy. And when you add on the indirect effect, it could be 25%. It attracts 60+% of the total UK spend in R&D in terms of manufactured goods and products. And manufactured goods and products are responsible for 45% of the total consumption emissions in terms of carbon, etc., for the UK. So they're really big reasons why this is a really vast and important area for the country, and why we're really looking to reach out and make sure that we maintain our place in what's an extremely competitive world and a fast changing world. Next slide, please, Pete. So again, being modest, we're the largest manufacturing innovation group in Europe, and the HVM Catapult is the most mature of the 9, and so we have the advantage because of history of being bigger than all the rest put together. And you can see from the numbers here that we've got capabilities across seven key centres, and they stretch from at one extreme advanced composites to the other extreme pharma and all in between, and with quite a geographical spread. You've heard from Sam up front, Sam Turner, and trying to make sure that we associate the growth in Northern Ireland is particularly uppermost in our list, which is why Sam is on loan, so to speak, to try and get AMIC up and running. So it's a really important part of the UK footprint. Next slide, please. So impossible to try and touch base on all the things that we do, but we've got £800 million worth of assets and about 3,500 people. And you can look at your leisure at these sorts of areas, but we range from next generation design, digitalization, and all that goes with that at one extreme, right the way through to how do we support some of the major initiatives that are underway to make our decarbonize our economy, basically, and keep us healthy. Okay, next slide. So the line that HVMC has been taking with the research in residence and its predecessor incarnations is that we don't want to be prescriptive. We're genuinely interested in picking up the best ideas that are out there at the moment from our academic community, and therefore this list that I've put up here, and there's another one to follow, is really just a guide to say here are some of the things that we're really looking to try and make progress on. So in terms of net zero, as I've expressed, 45% of our engineering goods and products are responsible for our national emissions. There's a whole raft of stuff that we're interested in doing there and need to do, because fundamentally, if we are going to hit our sustainability targets, we're going to have to design and make stuff in the right way. So at one extreme, how do we track emissions and all that goes with that? And you've heard a bit from Eloise on one aspect of that actually already. And how do we go about reducing carbon footprint at all stages across the life cycle of products? Healthy society, which is the middle block, massive transformation going on in that area, and we've got 2 of our companion catapults who will talk in more detail about some of that. But essentially there's a significant number of manufacturing challenges as we digitalize, as we personalize medicine, and how we think about how we get through regulatory frameworks in a more effective manner. Whole list of things there. And then last on the right, resilient UK industrial base. We've all seen the effects of what happens when you have a pandemic and you realise, I can't even get masks, I can't get PPE, I can't get this, that and the other. And that's because we need to understand what our supply chains look like, understand where we're resilient and where we're not, and then make the best we can with the money we've got to try and increase our resilience. There's a whole raft of scientific topics that need to be addressed there. Next slide, please. Okay, I just thought I'd end with this slide, and we've completed tranche 1, as Peter's just mentioned. So, and by the way, prior to this, we've already hosted over 40 R&Rs. So we've got 40 success stories that, rather like Eloise, that we can talk to. But this is a snapshot, really, of the absolute hot topics in each of our centres. And you can look up the details of what the centres do on the websites and read this at your leisure. But we've got 11 funded projects in tranche 1. 4 of those fell in the net zero category, 5 of those in healthcare and 2 in resilience. That gives you a bit of a marker as to understand perhaps some of the areas where we're looking. And I'd just like to close out with just a couple of comments, really. One, why would you bother to apply to this scheme, notwithstanding Eloise's excellent justification? Do you want to help grow the economy? Do you want to help create jobs? Do you want to help the UK meet its net zero targets? Do you actually want to make sure that your research is going to go somewhere and you want an appreciation of how to do it? And last but not least, do you actually want to collaborate? Because this is not just a bunch of money you can get, it's what we do with that together in building relationships. If you can tick all those boxes, get in touch with us and start to co-create some proposals for the next tranche. And I'll hand back to Pete at that point. Thank you.